Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep because, well, there's stuff on my mind. So let's get to it so I can get to bed, okay? Actually, I gotta edit the journals while I talk, so it's one of my last things to do for Sunday night, early morning. So we're gonna be talking about something that's very important to me. So, first of all, I want to thank you all for tuning in this fine morning, especially Kane. And yeah, so one of the things I want to talk to you about is prepping for a recession. Pen, I guess I have to use this one. You see, a lot of you preppers out there been asking me what to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there we go. All right, there we go. So every day I will do this, okay? There you go. So as a prepper, you must ask yourself some big important business decisions. One being prepping. You see, a lot of you guys are sitting there and you watch these preppers on YouTube, and then I get a lot of emails and flack saying nothing's happened. Why should we listen to you guys? And I'm like, you don't have to listen to me. But while we're on the subject, Tildor said, prep, prep, prep. Well, problem is you must prep. And that is something you must do. You see, the problem is a lot of you guys are losing faith, losing hope. You're prepping for what? Yeah, think about it. Tildor tells me to drop the Atari. Sorry, Tilly boy, but I don't play Atari, okay? His favorite channel went on vacation for a week. He was complaining. Well, guess what? Or she was complaining. Turns out that I was on vacation with Zoe. And then I took the rest of the week to clean and to prep. I still got orders to place. I got to order paper towels and dog food, bunny food, and um, ramen. My ramen pile's getting slow. I also got to prep laundry. Now, you're wondering, what am I talking about? Recession. Well, all right. So we're on a different schedule now. Here we go. See, I'm trying to prep. I told Zoe I would, yeah. So the point is as you're prepping, you have to basically plan ahead. You see, a lot of people are spending their hard-earned dollars right now. I was talking to a friend, right? Stacy, great girl. We were conversing about the economy and why people aren't buying any crap. Oh, great. Did I screw this up again? Oh no, this is. Oh, yes, no, I was stuck on. Ah, yes, here we go. I've fixed it a million times. Okay. That's why the monthly review never was done. You see, people are spending their money on trips. And then you got someone like Tildor saying stuff like, hurry up, boss, hurry up, boss. And, well, and, then Tildor says something about an ice cream maker, alright? Now, Tildor is funny in many ways. Fortunately, a lot of people out there don't realize that everything costs money. Yeah. You see, let me tell you a story. I love you all. He says, the boss is back, yada, yada, yada. What is this? This is new. So now I got it. Now I'm on the 6-month daily planner? Wow. This is interesting. Hmm. This is interesting. So now it switches over to a day planner. Weird. I guess I could still utilize this as a prepper for you. You're still giving me 30 extra days. Yep. Alright, so I guess this is going to be good. Now they changed to, this was a weekly review. Then it goes to daily planner. So there's a daily planner in the back if you run out of projects. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so a lot of you preppers out there have been emailing me saying, well, what is this recession? How come, I'll explain it. Alright, so the problem is, by the way, I want to thank Pee Wee for the nice comment. She said something cool, about Zoe coming out. Zoe had her own agenda. Unless Zoe wants to share her agenda with you, I'm not at liberty to tell you. Yeah. All right, so let's get to it, shall we? So a lot of people are investing their money into trips. I got another planner next month. Planners come in handy for me. I've been managing 3 different people, myself and 2 others. Actually, I think I'm managing 4 others now. Oh God, my planner is filling up. Okay. So the bottom line is a lot of you out there need to realize that people aren't prepping anymore. People are buying motorhomes. They're buying cars. They're buying video games. They're buying music, movies, books, some items, but not big items. They're buying things that they can afford. For example, a lot of people don't really want to put their items in things right now. Not prepping things, not anything that could save them. For example, Zoe, decided she's still prepping, but she came out here she had several goals and she met them. Now, as you all know, I can't tell you her goals or projects. I'm sworn to secrecy, but the economy is going to tank. It might take a Republican House and Senate to fix things. It might take a Democrat House to fix things, but the country is in a turmoil, you see. We had 3 years of the pandemic, right? People are stuck indoors. Now, I'm not going to give false narrative here. I don't want to get flagged, but pandemic, right? Some people believe in the clot shots. Other people doesn't want to believe the clot shots. Plain and simple, it doesn't matter what you believe in. It's what the government tells you you have to believe. And if you don't believe what the government says, well, point is, then you're in trouble. Now, I'm not going to go into details about the government's yay, nays, and crapples. All right. My job is to tell you, to explain to you the pros and cons. Okay. There's people out there. Okay. Let me break down buying items compared to buying memories, okay? No, this ain't total recall. I wish it was. But the point I'm making is people aren't buying items unless they need it. The poor, they're living paycheck to paycheck. The middle class, like my cousin Dinky and Corey, paycheck to paycheck. The economy, it isn't doing good. They say, oh, we might have a soft landing on a recession. But Federal Reserve keeps raising interest rates. And then people sit there and say, oh, well, the job market's strong. And then the job market's strong. A lot of people want to either work at home or they don't want to work. And there's a lot of people sitting there in the outside box calling us tin hat conspiracists. I'm one of them. Well, a lot of people call me tin hat conspiracists, but I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in facts, okay? Now, I'm going to give you guys an example of what's going on in the economy, okay? Now, 3 years ago, I said when the housing market cools, when the pandemic is over, I always thought we'd be in lockdown for like 500 years, but oh well. I started prepping a long time ago, and I started getting really into prepping more during the pandemic because we were all buying stuff. Remember that toilet paper limits on Amazon at Target and Walmart? And then they started not shipping because the supply in the warehouses are empty. Now think of people these days, okay? Think of people. I'm going to give you several examples. People went out and bought yachts. And they traveled whether they wanted to. They saw what they wanted, made memories. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got to go back to work. Plus the fact the yacht insurance is too expensive and the fuel is too expensive. Then they realize there's maintenance to do it. You know, boats are high maintenance. And then and specialty people have to do specialty jobs. Same goes with buying fifth wheel. People went out and bought a fifth wheel and a truck. Truck works just fine now. Fifth wheel fell apart after 50 or 60 uses. Same with trailers. Same with motorhomes. People are buying things and they're realizing that they don't need it anymore. So they're trying to offshoot used stuff. And the used market is too cluttered. Think about it. Let me tell you a story about me, okay? There's collectors like me, game collectors like me that like physical games. What if I told you, is there a physical game here? I can give you guys an example. Yeah, here we go. Like this, for example, right? Limited edition game, right? What happened? Well, I'll tell you. People started sucking them up thinking they can make a living off of it. And then all of a sudden, no one is buying. And then the scalpers say, why aren't you buying my game? I charged $10,000 for it, for example. No one's got $10,000. Remember I told you about the Final Fantasy Collection debacle where Square Enix only produced like 10,000 or 50,000 copies physically in America, 10,000, 20,000 in Europe, and such and such. And then all of a sudden, everyone sucked them up. And then Square Enix says, oops. And yet, the scalpers think they're going to get $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for these games. No one will pay it. They'll be sitting there for 50 years, unplayable, sealed, because no one's going to pay for it. Games will be coming back down in price soon because even if you get a mint condition complete game, it's well worth the money at a lower price. Systems are getting harder and harder to run, so games are going to be sold cheaper. So unless you get a refurbished or reconditioned PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, you're not playing those games. PlayStation 3, those will fail eventually. PlayStation 4, fail. Then your entire game collection's useless. PlayStation 5, Switch, DS, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, whatever. People don't realize that eventually, unless. And has anyone ever realized when it comes to games, you enjoy games, right? For example, people buy digital and then they're like, yeah, well, I'll go to my collection one day. The store removes your collection piece. It's a rental. You're renting it for whatever length they put it on the market. Then you have the other problem, finances. So you got game collectors saying, oh, look at my 500,000 games I have. But either A, they can't get the batteries to replace the cartridges, or something else happens, right? Eventually, you're stuck with a massive game collection you can't use. It collects dust, and you're like, oh yeah, this is worth some money. Yeah, if some museum wants to do it, but at the same time, no one's gonna buy. So people sit there and they think they can make money off of it. Think of the used market, right? For cars, used cars selling like hotcakes as long as the price is right. New cars, people are buying them to go traveling. Motorhomes, some of them are junk, some of them aren't junk. Yachts, boats, same thing. During the pandemic, people sucked up everything. Camping gear, gym equipment, treadmills, weights, everything else, right? And yet, what happened? Now they're sitting on it, right? And no one is buying. They're buying trips. They're buying food for their trips. They're buying whatever. And yet, no one, and I repeat, no one is investing in prepping. Have you noticed that when you go to a prepping channel, you don't hear anything about prepping? It's all about Russia this, Korea that, we're gonna die. Like CP's always saying we're gonna die. They don't tell us we're gonna die. Well, we're still alive, are we not? And it's July 10th. But as a prepper, you gotta ask yourself, peepers, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle it? Are you gonna sit around and prep? Or are you gonna sit around and go on vacation, spend your money, max out your credit cards, and then basically say you can't afford it and you declare bankruptcy and have nothing? I mean, I'm prepping in the shadows. I'm not doing these videos because I want to. I'm doing these videos because it's necessary. You see, the recession is crippling everything. I was just on a forum tonight about used bicycles. The used bike market, dead, right? Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, bike sales, like stores like out here on the island, was buying double, triple, and even quadruple the stock, and then raising the prices 2 to 3 times higher, thinking it'll be years before they can get out. The fact of the matter is, the bike dealers lied. They didn't think there was going to be a massive cooling. Okay, so it goes like this: we're in lockdown, streets are empty. Zoe told me this in Chicago or Chirac. What happened? People were buying bikes. People were buying DSL cameras. People were buying things that they thought they could use to get around during the pandemic. And then What happened? Government declared it over. And then some states declared it was over. Some states said, no, wear a mask. The state says you have to wear a mask in a hospital still. Yet, talking to my sister Teddy tonight, not in Colorado, but my point is this. What if I told you this hypothetically? Airfare pricing was super inflated. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, Zoe's ticking. I'm not going to give you the price. Well, I will. Let's just say $3,000. $3,000 to fly. Right? That's not even first class. Going from Chirac to Seattle should have been about $300 round trip, not $3,000. Okay, and this was purchased 6 weeks before the trip. Yeah. Then you got super inflation of hotel rooms. Oh, well, everyone wants to travel to where I live, the island. Again, as a prepper, $400 a night. Yeah, $400 a night. Think about it. Tourists are getting ripped off on food pricing. I mean, it isn't cheap, people. You wake up and what do you get? Nothing. You wake up. A lot of you people say, oh, well, what am I prepping for? Well, Zoe and I had a chat recently while she's back in Chicago and in person as a friend. The price of food is astronomical. I mean, literally, it's Chicago prices. My sister in Colorado said it's Colorado prices. What is she prepping for? She's not prepping for a nuclear disaster, Teddy. She's prepping for a recession where meats are going to go through the roof. So she's got 4 head of cow in her freezer, and she eats beef a lot. And pig. 3 head of pig. That's saying something about your food sources. I got lamb. I mean, think of it, my friends. If you got a $3,000 trike you bought in 2020, not a minute, 2019 model or 2020 model, it's not even going for $200 right now on Craigslist, maybe $300. But guess what? Zoe and I went through Craigslist the other day, right? Zoe's a sweetheart. Zoe went through Craigslist. The problem? No one in their right mind is moving. Right? We had a bike. We asked for $1,200. Okay? $1,200. You know what happened? No one wanted it. One person said, oh, it was a tour bike. Yes. Another person said, will you deliver off island? Yes, if you pay me to come back on the island. Another person offered $400. Chloe wanted $500, so that deal went through, but the guy never got back because, frankly, he sounded like a scammer. Okay, so we have an 18-speed salsa bike in storage, only used twice. Once to bring it home, once to go get a doggy trailer and bring it back. So 2 times round trip, or 1.5 times. $400, right? We had it set. It's been sitting since probably May, right? Like May 1st or something, right? It's July, 2 months. No one's buying. So as you know, I'm a woman who wants answers. So I went to a forum. People are buying $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 bicycles. They can't even get $5,000 of high-end bikes. Why? because it is literally, sorry about this, I had to fix my underwear for a second. There we go. No one, and I repeat, no one is paying for used bikes. That's right. I want you guys to know that Zoe and I have a good working relationship as friends. And one of the things Zoe and I were talking about is if the marketplace, right? If the marketplace on Facebook and Craigslist isn't moving bicycles and tents and camping equipment. I mean, do you know how many people on this island are selling cars? $5,000 sofas, desks, beds, boats. No one's buying. Think about it. You can lower the bicycle to $1. I was on one site where you could choose your price. Not one person was interested in a brand spanking new, only used twice bike for $1. Think about it. No one cares. While Tildor says, so the bike can get an ice cream maker. Now, a lot of people sit there and think it is worth what you pay for it. The game community, a lot of them are basically being frugal. They're buying new games. They're buying games. Games, if you didn't know, don't come with warranties. They're buying games. They're buying used games. They know that a lot of the people have to maintain their system. And if their system works, the game's work. If the system doesn't work, the game's useless. And then you have to go through a specialty store to get a refurbished Super NES, Nintendo, Genesis, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. And yet, a lot of you peeps out there don't realize we're in a recession. You think they're going to just plop down money for this? A lot of people in the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, year, let's just say 5 to 12 months, let's just say 5 months for Christmas to July of next year, or even into 2024, the end of 2024, will be a recession. Food prices fluctuate. I just saw my can of chili go from $2 to $5 a can. Tell me why. I'll tell you why. Supply and demand. People are stockpiling. And the people that aren't stockpiling, they're putting their money into trips, cars, motorhomes, boats. Yeah. Did you know the fishing industry, fly rods, spin rods, bait casting rods. Zoe was asking me to take her fishing sometime. I said, okay. Those rods are literally all over the place. You can get deals on rods. You can get deals on reels. But why aren't they moving? Because no one wants to spend that kind of money. Think about it. $2,500 bike put in store. Some guy could score. But no one will. $3,000 trike only worth maybe $200. See, let me tell you a story. We're in a recession. People don't talk about it. The recession is bad, very bad. When people are spending thousands of dollars on trips, and then what happens when they go home? Trip's over. They have memories. But now they don't have money for food. They don't have money for gas. They don't have money for insurance. Then what? How does it play out then? Think about it. Think about the used market. Video games. A lot of movie DVDs and Blu-rays are getting cheaper and cheaper. Why? Because everyone is streaming. What if Netflix turned around worldwide and you read one morning that Netflix was closing its doors because Netflix lost the share feature, and Netflix lost because no one can afford their 3-tiered plan. What about then all of a sudden people sit there and they cut out Netflix, and then some other companies scoop them up and embed it into there, like Max and Paramount and Showtime, right? All of a sudden, all these streaming services start narrowing it down, and then eventually people have to ask themselves, $8 for Disney or $8 in the gas tank, or $8 for a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk. It's going to come down to making decisions of how much they're going to see these technological companies fail because people don't want to spend money they don't have, or they have to cut their streaming services to live. Then what? Peacock? Pluto? What if Pluto basically went and said we lose? No one's subscribing to Pluto. Pluto had to say $15 a month for Pluto TV. People just bail on Pluto. What if Showtime and HBO decided we have to raise Max had to raise the prices, and people started cutting it because they need to make a little income. These companies will start to see things collapse. People are going to start basically buying playing cards, playing over and over and over. I play certain games, okay? And I got one game, it's got like 900 hours, and then it's on a real-time clock called Animal Crossing. That keeps me entertained for hours. Rita's got a mansion. Rita-Lee's got a mansion. Moppy's got a mansion. Chloe's got a mansion. Hubby's got a small house. Zoe's got a large one-room house. Higgins lives in a tent. It's entertaining, but sometimes you got to sit there and ask yourself, how much are you willing to invest in? Let me tell you, Chloe bought me a book last year, right? I've gone through the book daily, using it as a research tool. $80 book, using it daily. This is what you have to do as a prepper. This is why I'm telling you we're in a massive recession. This is worse than 2008 crash. This is going to think housing markets cooling. Pee-wee, Higgins, people that own homes, townhomes, condos, houses, mobile homes, land, properties going up. Counties basically raising taxes to make a living, to pay them people. Eventually people will be so blood dry there won't be any taxes left to collect. Think about it. We're looking at the future. And I was playing my game tonight, and I was thinking to myself, what are we prepping for? The recession. Yeah. I mean, I live on an island. You wouldn't believe. Tildor says, I need the real milk. Then pay $7 a gallon for $6 a gallon for milk. Hey, Tildor. Well, I spent $17 for a can of powdered milk that gives me 7 gallons. You can have your real milk. I mean, think about it. When will we all stop to wake up and smell what we're shoveling? People are investing in trips. People are investing in stuff that they make memories. People are partying, drinking, doing drugs. I mean, I'm going to email Pee-wee one of these days and ask her how her business is doing, because, every craft show she was making $3 to $5 grand. Is that cut down? I'd like to hear from Pee-wee. Is it going down? Is it going up? Is people going to these craft shows? I mean, what if Pee-wee's not making a living? her extra income when it was siphoned off. No one's spending it. I mean, on our island, people are buying food, booze, hotel rooms, fancy dinners. I'm not talking about Zoe. And yet, no one understands the recession's here. People are going to have to start basically making decisions. What are they going to sell that they don't need anymore? And what can they keep? Eventually, people are going to have to make sacrifices. Think about it. There's people out there, right, talking about the bicycle. Hold on to it. So what if I hold on to it for 3 years and the used bike market never recovers? I mean, think of it. Apparently, the bike market is going to discount bikes, the bikes in the warehouses, 2020, 2021s, 2022s, and discount them hugely to sell them. But then again, look what's going on in the world. How many people out there do you see in real life riding a bicycle, riding a tricycle? Most people, they want either an electric go-kart, an electric electric riding lawnmower, a lawnmower, gas lawnmower, diesel. They want a scooter. They want things that they can get around fast, that don't have to do much. In this day and age, the bicycle is tying off like the dodo bird. If it doesn't move on its own power, people don't want it. They don't want pedal power. This ain't like the 80s and 90s where if you lose your $900 mongoose and someone strips it, you know. I mean, think about it. Think about it. $2,500 bike, not even worth $400. This tells you that someone made it, took advantage during the pandemic. A lot of people did. And now people are suffering. I mean, my trike's not even worth $200. There's decisions that have to be made to do what? Get rid of it? To keep it? To make Tildor happy? Buy an ice cream maker? Come on, think about it, peeps. I mean, we're in a recession. People are going to put more money into trips, more money into booze, more money into food, eating out, than they are about prepping. That's why the prepping channels, in my opinion, are dead. People aren't utilizing what they have. And then they buy big ticket item boats, planes, yachts, motorhomes, RVs, trucks, campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels. And then they use it and they say, oh, I don't need it anymore. And then they can't pedal it used. Yeah, they can't pedal it used. And then you see businesses failing because some people aren't investing in things like bicycles, camping equipment. People are trying to get rid of their weights cheap and no one's buying. They figure, I can buy a membership to a gym and I'm fine. Think about it. Think about it. Where there's an action, there's always a reaction. Where there's a positive, there's always a negative. What if nothing happens? No nuclear strikes. But in some parts of the world, there's earthquakes, fires, flash floods, tornadoes. Are you prepped for it? I know I am. But what about the rest of you? What about the rest of you? We'll all survive, yeah, if we're survivors. But the Black Swan event, people have been messaging me saying it's done. Government made a deal. Tildor says not even a blue or red wave will save this country. Maybe, but it seems there's people has their priorities, people have this. Think about it. How many people out there are going to spend money foolishly? Yeah, think about it. But the rising cost of food and gas and insurance and the basic necessities, eventually people will be cut off. And then what? Think about that. And then what? Yeah. Prep for a recession, people, because we're in for a bumpy ride. And it ain't going to get any easier. And if UPS strikes August 1st, it's just got a whole lot bumpier. And you might as well just sit on your Amazon gift cards and not let it build up. So you can buy something for your birthday or Christmas. UPS might be on strike. The government doesn't want to interfere right now. But they interfere with the railroads because, well, that's a national security issue. But when it comes to UPS, that ain't national security. That's just, you might get your package in 3 or 4 weeks. Think about it. Think about the recession, what it's going to do to people. Feds want to raise the interest rates again because they're not happy with what it is. They think slowing down the housing market and pricing. Raising the interest rates only caused prices to go up to a point of no one will be able to afford it. Remember, Biden, you'll have nothing and be happy. Think about where we're going. This is why you're prepping. Now, a lot of you think I'm full of crap. So be it. But you know what? I'm going to check the comments out in the morning. In the meantime, think about it. They're raising prices of guns. They're raising price of ammo, cars, fishing rods. They're offsetting things. Everything is either supply is low and demand's high, or supply is high and the demand's low. Some items are like that. Look at the bikes. New bikes sitting in warehouses. Bike stores, they can't move what they have. Used bikes. Bike shops won't buy. Higgins was telling me the other day, check out bike shops. I did. Contact everything from Bellingham, Whatcom County to Skagit County to Snohomish County, include check King County. No one's willing to buy bikes. They're overfilled. People had their fun with bikes during the pandemic. Now, people want something on its own power. But at the same time, there's a shop here in town that sells 1 year or less rechargeable battery-powered electric bikes or e-bikes and e-trikes. No one's buying them. Why? Because no one has $1,200, $1,500, $1,800. When you look at the financial obligations, people just don't have it. They're going to start cutting corners. They're going to only buy what is needed and not buy anything more. And this is where I keep telling you to keep on prepping. I mean, look at me. I'm proud that I only go to the store twice a month for a soda. I usually order everything in. As long as the canned soups and the canned corns all stack up, I'll eat that before I go to the store. When my closet counter and my food pantry runs out, I'll restock. In the meantime, think about it. We're going to have to make some sacrifices. All of us. Financial sacrifices. You might have to buy a package of underwear every 3 months and a package of socks every 3 months or 6 months. Money's tight. We have to tighten our belts. And that's a fact. In the meantime, I look forward to your comments. But yeah, we're not going to hit a soft landing. We're going to hit a hard landing. So in the meantime, I want to wish you all well tonight. And think about what I said. Powdered milk, it's fine. Canned goods, fine. Everything that you can survive on, get it now while the prices are still low, because prices are going to go up again. You're not going to hear the last of it. The Republicans could be basically raising the inflation so high, hypothetically, that people would vote Republican just to get it down again. This is the only card maybe they're playing. The Democrats could be playing the same game, not caring about things. So you can go maybe communist or socialist. Think of everything. You'll have nothing and be happy. Yeah. I'm going to have stuff, and I'm going to prep like hell. In the meantime, I want you to think about it, chew on it. And I'll do a video tomorrow when I get back from the bank and from the store. Thanks everyone for watching. It's time for my bedtime. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions, hit the like, subscribe button. Hold some fun for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your surface dogs, your surface bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Keep the comments nice, all we ask. Thank you and God bless you in everything you do.